This is the Supreme Samurai here, and I'm going to talk about One Piece today, and what I thought about the new characters in the time skip, and what I thought about them before the time skip. I just caught up to the time skip of to One Piece, and I am very excited about it. I have been waiting a long time for this, and I'm just very excited to talk about it. So let's go ahead and talk about Brook first. When we first saw Brook, right before the time skip, he was with those people who thought he was like Satan or something, and they were trying to beat these other bandits or bad guys that were messing with them, so they called on a demon, and that demon just happened to be Brook, because that's when he fell down, and they thought that he was Satan. And so that's pretty much where he was at. And when we left off of him, he was in a cage playing music, and that's where we left off with him before the time skip. But when we came back after the time skip was over, we see that he is a magician. He is Soul King, a big magician, and I thought it was cool, but I wasn't the biggest fan of that, because I feel like he could have spent all that time training and becoming stronger, and instead of doing that, he decided just to focus on music, which was cool and everything, but I'd rather him really just focus on working harder to get stronger. As for his new look, there's not really that much to talk about, because he's a skeleton, so he doesn't age and get new looks, I guess. The animation of him looks better, of course, but all he has like a new scarf that he carries around, which I don't really like that much either. But that's it for him. Let's go ahead and talk about Robin. So when we leave off Robin, she was on her way to meet Luffy's dad, which is I'm sorry, I can't remember his name at the time, but if you remember back to that, they were on that ship, I believe, and they was on his way to get there, and that's all we got to see of Robin at that time. So now we go back to this time skip, and we see her. She looks a lot older, and of course she's grown and she's become bigger in some areas, but we don't get to see a lot of her moves early on, of how much stronger she's gotten, but you can tell she's gotten stronger, and you can see her overpowers of those arms she has now. They're a lot bigger and a lot stronger looking when you see that just a little while after the time skip in the when they go down to the ocean on their way to Fish Island. But as overall for her, I actually liked her new look. I thought it fitted her pretty well, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. So now I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Chopper. I actually think that Chopper looks a little bit more younger now than he did before. But this might be my opinion. I actually, out of all the stories, the side stories, I actually like Chopper's a lot. How he saved the village from being attacked by those birds, and then they end up becoming friends, and he ended up learning to work on this medicine and these herbs over there, and that's pretty much where we leave off with him. And when we come back from that, we see how much he's grown, and we see a little bit of his new strength, but we don't see really too much about him. He's still the same dense Chopper as you saw with the whole fake Luffy thing early on. But overall, I don't really have anything too bad to say about Chopper's new look. I just think that they could have done a little bit better with it, but it was not bad. Let's go ahead and talk about Usopp now. I think Usopp was one of the best new character looks of all of them. Usopp before looked like a little scrawny little punk compared to the rest of them, really, even though he wasn't a punk, I guess. But his backstory, not his backstory, but his thing before the time skip, I didn't like so much about how him like being so fat, and he had to like work off all that fat and then get stronger from not dying really from all those giant insects and stuff. But I thought that his new look was amazing. His new look was amazing. I just love the beginning where you see him come and save, not really save, but help Nami with that new slingshot with the, like, I think it's called like pot green or green pot or something like that. Green point maybe, I don't know the exact word of it. But it looked amazing, like all this like leaves and veins just came out and attacked the fake Luffy, and I just thought that was amazing. So since we're talking about Usopp, I'll go ahead and talk about Nami, because Nami was at that same part. Nami, of course, just like Robin, has grown in areas, but she just seems so much more vicious. You get to see her weather ball attack, and it just looks a lot stronger, and you get to see her thunder come down, and it was just amazing. Like the whole place was just destroyed. I don't even know how the fake Luffy walked out like alive after that. That was just crazy. But Nami's time before the time skip was amazing. I thought it fitted her perfectly to find an island above the normal island. It's not as high as Skypiea, but it was high. And she got to learn a lot more about the weather and meet some good people along the way. So I thought that was very good for her, and I enjoyed her new evolution very well. Now let's talk about Frankie. Now, Frankie for me was a little off for me. I get how strong and cool he looks, I guess, but I actually like the old Frankie better, to be honest with you. Because you know that little super thing he does with the stars? I liked it a lot better before because it was just his arms, and you could just see the star that he made with his arms. But now he has this really big square things when he does it, and this just looks weird to me. I don't really like it too much compared to the others. As for character development for him, you haven't really seen too much character development yet for him as a new character. He looks pretty much the same to me, but he was enjoyable to see. And it's Frankie. You can't not like Frankie. As far as his back time before we came back to the present, I thought it was pretty funny to see his face without his face, like just the iron because he's a cyborg. And I thought it was funny. Like every time he turned around, those kids, the kid and the old man, got scared, and I just laughed really hard at that point. And when they put the tea in him instead of the cola, and he was acting all, polite and nice, I thought that was pretty funny too. Alright, now let's talk about Zoro, which if you do not know, he is my favorite character in One Piece. He is just awesome. And I like that little scratch he has in his eye. I would like it better if he could have still opened his eye and had that scratch, other than now he can't open his eye at all, which I don't like as much. But we haven't really got to see too much of his new powers yet. We see him take down the Pacifist, or I don't know exactly what it's called, the thing that looks like Kuma. And he took him down pretty easily, and before he couldn't, so of course he got stronger. As for his back time before the time skip, I liked his a lot, to see him go and train with Mihawk. I thought that was amazing. And I thought it was just cool how the same person that he wants to kill was training him. It was just funny to me. I thought that was pretty ironic to see that. And he just became a lot stronger. He this looks really cool, and I can't wait to see more of him later on in the series. Now let's talk about Sanji. Now, Sanji's story was so funny to me, how he got stuck in the cross-dresser island with all those cross-dressers and man-girl, whatever you want to call them. I just thought he got the worst luck. Out of all the people to have gotten on that island, it had to be Sanji. If Sanji would have went to Amazon Lily, he would have went crazy. I mean, but of course he didn't get that lucky. So his story is actually pretty cool. How he had to fight each one of them to strengthen up and to become stronger before he could leave. I think he had to find 99 coins or something that they needed to pretty much beat 99 people, which all of them were super strong. So it took him a long time to do it. And I just thought it was funny when we come back to the present time and we see him just go to the Sabri and just go crazy over the first girl he sees, and it was just funny to see that. He looks like Sanji. I mean, he doesn't look that different to me. I mean, he has more facial hair now and is a bit taller, but he's pretty much the same character for me. Maybe just more into girls than he was before now because of all the cross-dressing stuff that he had to go through. I think I've talked about every single Straw Hat now except for Luffy. Brook, Chopper, Usopp, Frankie. I believe I've talked about every single one now. So I'm going to go ahead and move to Luffy, the main character. Luffy is just an awesome character, and I just love to see his change in the beginning, where you see him pick up his hat again, and I just thought it was awesome. And his new powers are amazing. Like when you see when him and Sabri, when the fake Straw Hat tries to mess with him, and he just does that thing where he just blinks his eyes and they all pass out. It was just awesome. And you get to just really see how much stronger he became. And he's still the same Luffy. That's what I love about him. And a little bit later on, you get to see that new Gear 3rd thing where he has huge ball of iron or whatever it is. And it was just cool to see him take down that pacifist thing, pacifist or whatever. I know I'm not saying it right, but whatever thing in the beginning so easily when before he could not even do it at all. It took the whole crew to beat like one of those things. So I thought that was a really awesome change. I'm sorry if I did forget one of the Straw Hats. It's not because I don't like that Straw Hat. It's just because this is one of my first videos, and right now I don't have a good editor thing. So I'm pretty much putting this up unedited. So please bear with me with the mistakes and stuff that I do make throughout my video. And I'm sorry if I did miss a Straw Hat. If I did, leave it on the comment section and I'll come back on the next video. But right now I think I've got every single Straw Hat. But yeah, I have just loved this new adventure of One Piece and to get farther in the series. I do believe that the old series was a little bit better for me in the first arc, at least of this new series, because I wasn't that big of a fan of the fake Luffy thing. I thought it was kind of dumb, to be honest with you. It wasn't bad, but I think that they could have made it better in the beginning. But of course, it was nice to see all the Straw Hats again and see them mature and see them just get bigger and stronger, and it was just pretty amazing to see that whole experience as a One Piece fan. It was just amazing, and I know it must have been more amazing for you guys who watched it from the beginning. I've only been watching it for a few months now, and I'm just in love with it, so I know for you guys it must have been awesome. But that's all I have for this video. This is my first video. I'm the Supreme Samurai, if you haven't seen by the title or whatever it is down there. But please comment, please subscribe, and I'm going to continue to make videos, so please enjoy. See you guys later. Bye.